Hello and welcome everyone. This is Type V3 with a gunpla review of the 1 to 1/44th scale, real grade Sinanju, the Neo Zeon mobile suit as seen in the OVA series Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. This is the most ambitious real grade kit to date. It's comprised of 17 items, 16 main plastic runners, and 1 sticker sheet. One of these runners comes in plated gold chrome, while 3 red runners have super glossy finishes to them. The plastic quality on these parts looks absolutely gorgeous. However, the kit only has been selectively undergated, so there will be an odd nub mark or two that needs attention. As for the build itself, it's ingenious. The Sinanju actually utilizes the RG Gundam Mark II inner frame as its base, then has you add pieces to it to increase the general size. There's also a lot of neat building tricks used, such as laying the black parts into the gold framework to create a sharp lining effect. The whole build is just impressive from an engineering standpoint. It's challenging and completely worth buying for the experience alone. Fully assembled without the stickers, and the real grade Sinanju might just be the most beautiful out-of-box build ever. The hyper-glossy red plastic seriously takes center stage on the visuals here and manages to reflect light in the most spectacular way, with the mechy gold parts adding that extra bit of regalness to the suit. That said, it isn't all about the fancy finishes, as the actual molding of the parts is equally as great. The MS has these wonderful shapes and fine details to it. Part separation is excellent too. Proportionally, it's all correct and the design is faithful to the show model. The Sinanju really is stunning, and I can't get over the fact that this is all a result of a simple straight assembly. Of course, there are sections to this kit that could use some improvement. For starters, the upper arms and upper legs have large seam lines to them and are also some of the few places where awful nub marks can appear. The yellow plastic vents could be filled in, or better yet, painted gold. The Sinanju doesn't offer many panel lining opportunities though. To be honest, there's not much to do unless you want to tackle the inner frame and its small components. Now, the Sinanju is a large mobile suit, and despite being a 1 to 1/44th scale kit, it stands at almost 7 inches tall at the highest point. It dwarfs most Gundams in this scale. However, the Sinanju can look even bigger still if you activate all of its gimmicks. The main boosters can be fully opened, the tops of the shoulders have an opening flap, with the entire shoulder pads being able to expand as well. The side skirts can extend downwards, the side leg armor can open up to reveal boosters and be repositioned, and the rear leg flaps can open up too. These changes don't make the Sinanju any taller, though it does fill out the mobile suit's silhouette, and gives it a more intimidating appearance. Other small gimmicks include an opening cockpit and an adjustable mono-eye. Unfortunately, the cockpit doesn't have a pilot, so it's just a dark cavity. As for the mono-eye, the adjustability is nice, yet you can't really see the effect, or even the mono-eye from regular viewing. Articulation starts with a ball-jointed head on a hinge. There's a waist swivel and an ab crunch that utilizes 3 separate interior hinges. The shoulders have a slight swing forward motion. The arms are on universal joints. There's a bicep swivel, double-jointed elbows with moving panels, and a ball socket wrist. All of the hip skirts are on hinged ball sockets. There's a forward swinging bar that connects the hips, with each hip being on universal joints. There's double-jointed knees, hinged ankles with ankle rockers, and a pivoting toe. The backpack also has some limited movement. There's a lot of moving parts on the Sinanju, though I wouldn't label this kit as superposable. The design of the mobile suit just limits movement. So let's talk about something more important, structural rigidity. Remember how this uses the Gundam Mark II as the base inner frame? Well, as amazing as the engineering achievement is, it doesn't make for the most solid robot. Basically, that frame was never designed to handle this much plastic, and the result is a very weak waist joint. I wouldn't label it as catastrophic. If you've ever handled a Gundam with a heavy backpack, you'll more than likely be familiar with this scenario. On a positive note, everything else is super tight. On to accessories, and the Sinanju includes 1 left open hand. There's also a pair of RG hands, but these are out of proportion with the mobile suit to properly match. For weapons, first are the beam sabers. The Sinanju actually houses fake beam saber hilts in its forearms, though the kit does include 2 full-size ones as well. The effect parts are super cool. Next, there's the beam rifle. It's done in solid gray plastic with 2 green stickers for the scope. The kit can wield it without issue. It can also be stored on the rear waist skirt. Doing this has the bonus effect of somewhat stopping the torso from leaning back. Then there's the shield. It's large and looks great from almost every angle. It can either clip onto the forearm of the Sinanju, or for a more secure connection, it pegs into the intersection of the lower shoulder pad. However, it's the underside of the shield that's more interesting. There you'll find 2 beam axes and a grenade launcher, all of which are removable. The axes can be easily held by the Sinanju, and there's 2 pairs of effect parts for them. Or you can keep the axes connected to the front of the shield and have the beam effects emit from the sides. As for the grenade launcher, this can be attached to the underside of the beam rifle. It gives the weapon a beefier appearance. Finally, a small unpainted figure of the pilot, full frontal, as well as a display base adapter are included. The 1/144th scale RG Sinanju is without doubt the most ambitious RG release of them all. Yet that ambition is more akin to a double-edged sword with regards to this release. Make no mistake, from an engineering perspective, the Sinanju is incredible, and it's coupled with the best straight assembly presentation I've ever come across thanks to the gorgeous plastics used. On the other hand, it's not the most solidly put together model kit, and while all the functional features add a dash of novelty, some may find it comes across more as finicky. This is certainly not a pick up and play with type of gunpla. The RG Sinanju is a demonstration of just how far the engineering envelope can be pushed in the 1/144th scale. This is Bandai flexing their muscles. For those who primarily build and display, this kit's for you. Even so, I would still recommend the real grade Sinanju to anyone who's a fan of Gundam. There's just nothing else like it, and despite its flaws, I guarantee it'll leave an impression. But that's all for me. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next review.